I'm back, and today we're gonna learn the Cross-Windmill and lots of cool tricks that you can do with this move. This move, in fact, is very essential for so-called Russian spinning technique, and this is exactly the move that gives you the feeling of the twisted arm, the body tracing style, and all this kind of stuff. So that's coming up. At first, let us learn the crossed windmill itself. It's pretty much like a regular windmill, but with crossed arms like this. If regular windmill goes like this, right? I hope by this time you know how to do this windmill. If not, go to tutorial number 1. But this time we use the crossed arms like this. They must be crossed just like around your wrists like this. Here, each arm also does just one weave around your head like this. Left arm and right arm. So, and together they do so-called crossed windmill, which looks like this. Let me explain in details how to do this move. To learn it, first do 2 exercises. Cross your arms and then just hold one fan and try to do the weave with the other one, like this. It has to be in the vertical plane, like this. It's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is the same for the other arm. It's pretty simple. Now, as you learn that, try to do one and then the other. One, the other. One, the other. Once you've got that, just try to do both. Basically, that's all there is to explain about this move. Next, try to do it moving your arms from side to side, like this. Start at one side, and then as you do this move, move your arms to the other side. And then back to that side. So one cycle per side. So in one way it will do some kind of anti-spin, in the other way it will be in spin, like this. Try to keep your plane as vertical as possible, even though I know it's pretty hard. Here the trick is to really relax your wrists, elbow and shoulders, and just let the momentum of the fan control the plane. That was the 2-beat variation of this move. Now let us learn the 3-beat one. If in 2 beats you had only 2 turns, like this, now you're gonna have the 3 turns, like that. In the 3-beat version of this move, you start like in 2-beat version, like this, but once your fans get inside behind your head, you do a full turn on the palms and bring it back like in regular 2-beat weave. So that each arm actually does half a weave behind and a rotation on the palm and brings it back. So behind, rotation on that, and bring it forward again. Once again, behind, rotation and forward, behind, rotation, and comes back in front. So together they start crossed. So the left kind of is leading, so behind, rotation, and going back forth. The interesting feature of this move is that you cannot do it continuously. You can do only one cycle of it, and then you kind of have to stop, because you come with inverted position, so that now your other hand is on top. So you have to do some trick like this to come back to this original move. Now let us do an exercise with this 3-beat version of the move. Again, we'll try to go from one side to another doing the move. So it's the same move, but we start at one side, and as we do the move, we come to the other side. Here we have to switch like this and repeat the move in the other direction. Here the goal is to keep rotation as smooth and as vertical as possible. Switch like this. Just do it for several times. As you practice this exercise, you may notice one particular moment that is very interesting. When you go from this side to that side, your arms pass here, around your head or around your neck, I would say. The interesting thing is that at this moment you can interrupt the movement and do something else. For example, you can stop here and do a like pirouette, and then continue. And this is the very interesting feature of this move. So let's explore a bit more the pirouettes that you can do in this move. As I've just shown that as you go from this side, here you can do a pirouette and come back to that side. That is a nice one, but there is another one. Another one is as you go from this side to that side. And in fact, if that was kind of anti-spin one, this one will be in spin. It looks like this. Basically, it's the same idea that you start doing this move, but you also start turning with your right shoulder back, like this. And you should be able to come back to basically initial position, with the exception that now your other arm is on top, like this. But that was an ugly pirouette. Let me now show you the really nice one and really easy one. This one does not require freebies, just to beat cross-windmill, and you can do it. So from this move, you can just start doing pirouette and come back. So what's going on? Basically, you start doing your pirouette, and when you go back to the front, you actually start rotating with your left shoulder and just come back to the initial position. So basically, at this point, you can just fix your fans, turn, and continue. So, you know, the windmill, turn, continue. Very simple. In fact, there are many other moves in which you can use the crossed windmill. But as always, I don't want to just teach you a bunch of tricks. I want you to explore them for yourself. So just as a teaser, or as a homework, if you wish, I will give you some examples of what you can explore and what you can learn. Almost everything I've shown you today, you can also do in the horizontal plane. See for yourself, you can do the same things like horizontally. You can do the same pirouettes if you want. You can kind of do the same moves from one side to the other side, and maybe they're in fact even more beautiful at some point. I urge you to explore this horizontal plane, because I'm sure there are many unexplored moves. So, in conclusions, today we've learned the crossed windmill and its 2D and 3D variations. I hope I convinced you to explore more of this move and what you can do with it, because you can do many things. For example, as I showed, you can do the vertical plane stuff, you can do the horizontal plane stuff, you can even do some pirouettes with it. And there are many more moves, but as always, I don't want to just teach you a bunch of moves, I want you to explore them for yourself. Particularly, I urge you to explore the same moves in the motion. Like here I have to stay statically in almost the same spot all the time, but as you perform on a real stage, you can move. And in fact, most of the moves look much better in the motion. For example, like I do something that we've learned today. For example, this pirouette ending with this one, it's okay, but it's much better when you really do it in a movement, something like this. So please explore. As always, I invite you to check my main channel, the channel of my music, and see you next time. I'm very sorry that I've been away for so long. I've got my camera broken, now I've got a new camera. So I will try to make new tutorials like as often as I can. Thank you for watching. See you next time.